All right. We're going live a little early. We are going to wait for people. I just hate starting and having people like join late. And I'm trying this new feature that when you make a comment, it goes right on the screen. So I'm super excited about that. So today, oh, it always seems to happen because it's just telling me an email that I'm live. Today, we're going to talk about how to keep everything in perspective. Never lose your peace. How do you do it? How do you take like those massive things that are happening in your life and keeping it in perspective so that you're not like losing your mind or freaking out or like magnifying the problem in your life? So that is what we're going to talk about today in 4 minutes. Oh, I don't have that countdown. So in 4 minutes, we're going to talk about that. I think everybody could use a little bit of a perspective. I mean, no matter what happens in your life, and I've had some, you know what? There was, why does that? All right, now we got to figure this out. I got to go back to my camera. There, now you can read it. All right. Some dude did a reel on Instagram and had this. He was like drinking it. He was putting his face in it. And I guess it went viral because I saw it. I don't follow that guy. I have no idea who he is. I could not get any kind of Saratoga water, and I only drink the carbonated one, the sparkling as they call it, for like 2 months. And I never realized that it was because some dude, did some stupid reel on it. My son told me that when he was here for the weekend. And I was laughing. I'm like, is that what? I can't find it at my store because honestly, it's the one that is the lowest pH. So what's the word? You don't have your teeth and enamel burn away from it. There's other ones that are out there like Perrier is super high. I think it's in acid. So you want to get one that's as neutral as possible, and Saratoga is. Not that I'm trying to get you to buy it because I don't want you to buy it so that I could buy it. All right. 2 minutes. Hang on. Time out. I'll be right back. Again, we're going to talk about keeping everything in perspective. Hold on. Oh, hello, baby. Where is it? Okay. Where is it? Where is it, baby? Here it is. I got it. Okay. Hey, girl. I am so glad you're here. And I was just thinking about you with that Facebook post. Girl, you're beautiful. And how old was that other picture? I'm curious. I mean, it looked like plenty of years ago. I'm not sure. Man, I can barely see out of these glasses. Hold on. Sierra, you're going to have to bring that ball closer. Can you bring it here? Can you bring it here? How many of you are in a heat wave? Oh my gosh. Tennessee, so hot, so humid. Like I get out there and my skin starts like getting prickly. It's nasty. And I went to the bathroom. Sorry, might be too much information. And I looked down and I have a teeny tiny little tick. Oh, there's your little comment, but it's so small. 3 or 4 years ago. Okay. I'm trying out this beta thing that says show the comments on the screen, but boy, how is anyone even supposed to see those? Can you see those on your side? Okay. Hey, it's over here. Oh, here it is. You did bring it to me. Good girl. All right. So I found this little tiny tick on my thigh. Sierra and I were outside and we went to go scare some turkeys away. The reason I do that is because I was feeding turkeys, deer, squirrels, birds, I mean, everything and their brother. And I had like 20 turkeys here at a time. And I don't know if you've ever smelled turkey poo, but it is the nastiest smell. So there were 3 out in the front, and Sierra and I went and chased them, and they're not even afraid of us. Like we have to get like up in their face, and she has to bark, bring it here. No, don't put it there. So needless to say. Okay. I thought it would be fun to show you guys some pictures, but maybe I'll wait until the end. Because it was of this weekend when my kids were here. They have never been here. So it was the boys and the girls, just the 4 of them, which was so cool. Where is it? And I was pretty jazzed. I was pretty excited to have them over. And that was why I didn't have a live last Monday. So thank you for being patient. It was so fun, but I took a couple pictures and a couple videos, so we'll maybe catch that at the end. Okay, let's get into it. How can we keep everything in perspective? Patsy, I know darn well that you have had things in your life that have just crushed you, right? I mean, ticks. It has. So I just think it's better if I do this, because then people can see it. I don't know. Ticks. It has been hot. We have a lot of fires burning near Albuquerque. So excited to hear about your visit. Oh, you're so cute. Okay. Yeah, ticks are nasty. And this one was a teeny tiny guy. But if you get them off between like 24 and 36 hours, you don't necessarily have all the icky stuff in you. So I know I just got it today. And I know why. Because I was back there and I'm wearing these loosey-goosey pants that, probably it got on me. They're usually the ones that are on the ground. So when my husband was alive and we were walking through this place when there was really no space cleared, we went to the car and we had like hundreds of those little tiny ticks all over us, to the point where we just took off our pants because we were like, we can't bring this into the car, and then just had to brush them off of us. It was pretty bad. Okay, let's get moving on because it is 6:33. So I want to talk about, my husband dying. It was like the worst thing that could ever happen to me. It was totally unexpected. My dad dying, that's a little bit more understandable. He was like 80. He got sick. He was in the hospital for 2 months, never left, died on Christmas Day. 33 days later, my husband died. And I know that there are other things that you guys all go through that are tragic, like job losses or, illnesses, death, just things that come into your life that rock your world a little bit. And I think for me, I shouldn't say I think, I know for me, back in 2024, January, if I didn't have my faith, and everyone needs to stay tuned. I don't care if you, kind of believe in God or don't really know, but faith made such a difference in my life. Okay, honey, I can't play. Sierra, do you want to go in the room? Hey, do you want to go in the room? I can't play with you with that right now. Look at this. All right. So I don't know what's going on in your life. What is the situation that you're like just getting your peace rocked? Because Jesus says, I will give you peace. Not of the world, not as the world gives you peace. So like for me, for 42 years, I thought peace was like drinking and doing drugs, changing my state of being so that I was peaceful, but I was really just numbing myself. Okay, this is it, honey. Honey, hang on. We can't do this with her. So let me just, look, we are, it's so big and so heavy. We are not playing with it. No. No. Go get your ball. You can't get it. Go get your ball or we're going to go in the room. No. Don't bark. All right, we're going in the room. Oh my gosh. Hang on, people. I'm so sorry. Do you want to go in the room? I'm not chasing you. No bark. I know. Bring your ball. We'll play with your ball. No. No. Oh my gosh, you gotta watch this. Get down. No. Sierra, come here. Come here. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. Don't bite. It's okay. It's okay. I know. I know. I know. Okay. Good girl. All right. So, if it wasn't for my faith, I seriously would have poured myself into a wine bottle, smoking a joint. I mean, all right. You have got to be quiet. No bark. You have to be a good girl. Stay here. Be a good girl. I'm so sorry. Hey, Karen. Okay, so it's easy to just focus on your problems. It's easy to magnify them. Yes, I am talking about the Bible, where Mary says, "My soul magnifies the Lord." So if you look and you're focusing on your problems and that's all that you can think about, maybe it's a relationship issue. Maybe it's a lack of forgiveness or something really blew up in your life in some way with someone else or a bunch of other people. In the end, if we call on God and we give it to him. So like when my husband died, I never said, I never said, why? I never got mad. I just said, oh, hey, Cherie. Oh, excellent. What are you making? You're making dinner. That was a good sidetrack. Okay. So the one thing that I didn't do was get mad at God. I never asked him why. I just said, okay, you allow everything to happen for a reason that I just don't know what that is right now. So I just had to give it to them, meaning the Holy Trinity. Give it to the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. I just dove into Mary and I prayed the our Sorrowful Mother's Mysteries. There's 7 of them. And it just kept things in perspective, like what she had to go through, watching her son, just from his scourging, from him carrying his cross, from him hanging on a cross for 3 hours, hanging on a tree, so to speak. I mean, knowing he is innocent, she didn't get upset with anyone. She didn't stand up and say, "What are you doing?" She accepted God's will. And if you keep your eyes on eternity, you're going to look at this life and think, it's so short. It really is. Sometimes it seems super long. I mean, I get that. Man, that first year was when you go through the firsts of everything, it just seemed so long. All the stuff that I had to do, to finish this house. And then when God in prayer told me to build a retreat home, I was like, are you kidding me? What? I don't even know how to finish this home. I don't know how to do this. I don't really want to do this. But when you hear clearly many, 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 many times in prayer, you just do what you got to do because the Lord knows his plans for you. It's not us who knows what we're supposed to be doing. He will guide you. So the Bible is such a beautiful place to go when you're like, I'm lost. I am freaking out. I don't know what is going on. I really don't want this to be happening in my life. I don't know how to manage it, let alone be able to change it. I can't bring my husband back. So John 14:27. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. Not as the world gives, do I give it to you. Let not your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid. So Jesus reminds us that his peace is not fleeting or conditional. You know what I mean? He's always there. It's eternal and it's anchored in trust. So if you could just trust that good is going to come out of this bad. So I look at my life, I'm just using examples here because it's easy to kind of understand. The good that's coming out of this is the retreat home that I will be able to share with other beautiful Catholic speakers, to women, 12 women here, to help them connect in nature, to help them renew their soul, their mind, their body. I mean, it's Jesus's retreat home, Jesus and Mary, honestly. So that's where we have to anchor ourselves, just to say, okay, I can't change this. I got fired from this job. This person is so ticked off at me, they're not even talking to me anymore. I have this illness that I can't control, that I'm doing what I can to get through this. And without God, and it is Jesus, who can you go to? Yes, you may have doctors. Yes, you may have friends and family. But the root of your heart, if you're anchored in Jesus, who tells you that I'm going to give you peace that surpasses all understanding. It's not what the world is going to give you, because the world is going to tell you, go do whatever makes you happy. Go do drugs. Take your mind off of it by, watching mindless hours of TV or drowning yourself in drugs and alcohol, anything to numb the feeling of pain. Love is suffering. Look at what Jesus did, all of the suffering that he did for the love of you. If you were the only person on this earth, he would have done all of it. Okay, Philippians 4, 6 through 7. Have no anxiety. Have no anxiety about anything, but in everything, by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. So peace begins when we turn our worry into worship and our panic into prayer. Peace begins when we turn our worry into worship and panic into prayer. All right, I'm just going to check you guys, see if... Oh, we got the menu from Cherie. We're having smoked chicken. Pat made that part, and fried rice. Excellent. Way to go. I love it when it's like a dual dinner with the spouses. All right. I'm tossing this one out to anyone who's watching, listening, whatever. When was a time, did you have a time where you had panic, you had a situation where you turned to Jesus and you turned to prayer to calm your heart, to give you that peace? Today, because this weekend, honestly, was a gluttonous weekend, I just ate so much. Amazing. The kids made brisket. It was awesome. They smoked brisket. We had, just a bunch of junk. It was fabulous. But I felt like I ate uncontrollably. So I also had to do my spreadsheet with costs and collect all my emails, because I'm trying to get out a big newsletter in the beginning of July. I hate that stuff. It's stuff that I don't like. These aren't massive crisis things to me, but I went to confession this morning and I went to Mass, and I'm like, I need to go to Mass. I have the ability to go to Mass every single day. Why am I not going? I can't be too busy, because when I go, when I receive Jesus in the Holy Eucharist, Holy Communion, I feel so much more peace. And it's only a half an hour, although it does take 25 minutes to get there, 25 minutes to get back. But you know what? I still have the rest of the day. So that being said, I do have to say, I don't know if you can go to confession, because when you go to confession and you just let go of the fact that you don't trust God, that you're worried, that you're anxious, like these are the things that we need to confess, because I don't know about you, but the evil one is trying to keep you in this state of fear and anxiety and worry and confusion. That's what he wants. He doesn't want you to have peace. Yes, there is a spiritual war going on around us. If we could see the spirits, if you could see what happens when you sit down and you pray, you will have good angels over here and bad angels over here. And they are going to be fighting for your attention. This is why it's so important to cast out the spirits when you find yourself being distracted, when you find yourself having that inability to pray because of worldly cares. That is the name of a spirit. So don't allow yourself to just turn to the world to give you peace, where you just fall into podcasts and things that just mindlessly keep your mind off of the problems. Turn to the Lord. Okay, I'm going to let her out now because she's starting to get a little crazy. I really want to know, when was a time that you turned to God and you could feel that peace? Or that you cast out spirit and you had this amazing, calm grace just pour over your soul, your mind, your body. Now I'm going to get her out. Get her out. Are you going to be good? Are you going to be a good girl? No barking. Okay. I love you. I love you. Okay. All right. You go, girl. You go, girl. Good. Okay. Good. Good. Okay. Good. Where's your ball? Go get your ball. Go get it. I don't know where it is. Here, what about this? Good girl. Excellent. You can lay down back here. Good girl, baby. Okay. I don't see any comments, so I'm moving on. All right. Isaiah 26:3. You keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on you, because he trusts in you. Perspective is protected when our focus is fixed on God, not our problems. You keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on you, because he trusts in you. So when we focus on God and not our problems, God gets bigger, our problems get smaller, because we're calling on his help. He knows what's happening in our life. He knows exactly what we feel, exactly what we want, which is probably not to have this happen. But when these things happen to us, there's a learning to let it go, let God come into your heart. I mean, it's not like we just throw it all away. Like, for example, if it's something that you don't want to do and it's a big task and you can't just like, oh God, you take care of it, and expect it to get done. I mean, we have to cooperate with that grace. But when we ask to invite Jesus in to that massive task that we have that we don't want to do, that's causing us angst and anxiety, he's going to come in a huge way. He's going to give you peace to go through it, and it's going to be easier, way easier. I remember when I did this, I say this story all the time. I'm sorry if you heard it a bunch of times, but when I had to do my taxes one year, I waited until 2 days before April 15th. My husband kept saying, are you going to do it? Are you going to do it? Are you going to do it? And I'm like, yeah. I wait. I go to mass that morning. And as I'm walking by the Adoration Chapel, I hear God basically say, come visit me. And I'm like, dude, this is my conversation with Jesus. Dude, you know that I have this tax stuff to do. I can't go spending time in adoration. Come visit me, I hear again. I'm like, fine. So I go in there, totally not calm, not peaceful. And I'm like, I'll give you 5 minutes. And then 5 minutes, and I'm honestly looking at my phone every 2 minutes. So the 5 minutes comes up and I'm like, okay, I'm out. Stay with me longer. So I wait for 10. Stay with me longer. By the 20-minute mark, I felt very calm, very peaceful. And then I kept saying, Jesus, you have to do this with me. Jesus, you have to do this with me. You have to do this for me. So I stayed in there for a whole hour. I went back home and I went receipt by receipt, credit card line item by credit card line item, check after check through my bank account because, I'm one of these people that just doesn't track it all the time. I'm getting QuickBooks. I'm going to figure this out. But I finished it all. I had time to do 3 more things on my list. My husband came home and he's like, did you do it? And I'm like, I did. He's like, did you do it right? I'm like, I did. And I explained to him the whole thing. And I'm like, I invited Jesus in. And he's like, that's so cool. He multiplied my time, which was beautiful. Romans 8:18. I consider that the sufferings of this present time are not worth comparing with the glory that is to be revealed to us. Our current struggles are temporary. God's glory is eternal. I mean, if you think about the time of our life and eternity, my hand can't go far enough. It is a drop in the ocean. Just keep focusing on your eternal life. That these problems that we have here are going to be over so soon. And hopefully, if we're faithful and obedient, we're going to be in this amazing life with God in total bliss, with no pain, no angst, no worry, nothing but beauty and love that we can't even imagine. All right, 2 Corinthians 4:17 through 18. For this slight momentary affliction is preparing us for an eternal weight of glory beyond all comparison. For what is seen is transient, but what is unseen is eternal. Eternal perspective brings earthly peace. That's why if we lived every day thinking about our eternal life, we would make very different decisions. And we would be peaceful. Because no matter what, we're going to get through it in a much easier, more peaceful way. It's that burden that Jesus says, yoke with me. Let me carry that burden, for it will be light for you if you do invite me in. All right, coming back to check on you. I can't see you right now. Araceli, oh no, don't get QuickBooks. It's so confusing. Well, what do you use then? Oh, girl, don't even say that. Because I have my tax person. She said she's gonna set it up for me. But what else should I use? You at least have mind math capacity. You a bookkeeper. Oh, well, okay. I could use a bookkeeper too, but so my tax person says, once we set up all the categories for you, you just have to put them, in the place and everything. So she makes it sound so easy. And it's funny, I have this woman on here, Cherie, who had offered to help me with this. So I don't know, Cherie, if it is so confusing, I might be calling you back and asking for your help. Oh, girl. So what do? Just shove all your stuff over to this bookkeeper and she does it for you? I'm curious about that. You're gonna have to let me know. Hi, Cherie. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to take a look at it. I'm going to have my tax person set it up, and then I will. Do you have ticks? What do you got there? You're itching yourself. Hey, cutie. Okay. Hi, Cherie. That's the best. Okay, well, I'm going to have to definitely figure that out. Okay, another Bible verse. Colossians 3:2, set your minds on things that are gosh, what is my problem with my tongue today? Set your minds on things that are above, not on things that are on earth. Keeping your eyes on heaven helps us hold loosely what is temporary. You know, you hear on the mysteries of the birth of Jesus, the third mystery of the joyful mysteries. And the fruit of the mystery is poverty. And that's so that we aren't attached to earthly things. The things that I lived for 42 years of my life, like money and stuff. And it never made me happy. And I held on to alcohol and marijuana, pornography, you know, like all the things that I thought made me happy, but they were fleeting. They weren't true joy. And they certainly didn't bring me any peace. I mean, honestly, like deep down in my soul of soul, like somewhere in there, in my soul, this little tiny part of me was like, this is wrong. I mean, I was out there, you know, committing adultery, like all this stuff, like this is wrong. Well, of course, the adultery part is wrong, but the other stuff still made me feel not right. So that's when I knew, like, I'm truly not really happy once I found Jesus in the confessional after being away for 26 years. Okay, so let's talk about some of the saints. You know, in the end, they're the ones that are in heaven. They struggled through the exact same things, in some cases, maybe even worse. I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't have a, you know, demon pushing me around in my bedroom, you know, hurting me, beating me up, none of that kind of stuff. But there are saints who had that. And then they, like, I think of St. John Vianney, who is the patron saint of priests. And I think, you know, you guys may know better than I do, but something happened to him in his bedroom and he woke up while he was sleeping and he's like, oh, it's just you. You know, after a while, he just was so tired of the evil one trying to rock his peace. Okay, so the Catechism of the Catholic Church, 1804 through 1809, speaks of the virtue of temperance and fortitude. Temperance, self-control, and fortitude. Just continuously going forward, no matter what comes in your way, just keep plowing through, which helps us keep balance, peace, and clarity in difficult times. St. Padre Pio, pray, hope, and don't worry. Worry is useless. God is merciful and will hear your prayer. St. Teresa of Avila, let nothing disturb you, let nothing frighten you. All things are passing. God never changes. I'm telling you, since my husband died, that's the way that I go. I mean, I just turn to God all the time. Sometimes I'm a little late. You know, sometimes I let myself spin in this like worry and how am I going to do this? I've never done this before. Like God has done this on my journey the entire time. Do this. Well, I don't know how to do that. And then he puts people in my way. Araceli, maybe he's putting Cherie in my way to help me with this whole, you know, balancing act of the costs and all that kind of stuff. But he does. He puts people in my way to help me, or he helps me even through the internet. I remember when I have a prayer program out there. So if you've never prayed before and you don't know how to pray, go to my website, go under Faith Services, and you'll see it's a 40-day daily prayer program. 40 days of prayer, love, and grace. And I come to you in an email for 3 minutes every day, and we focus on one thing. And the email part wasn't working. I mean, that's the key part of this whole program. And the person who set it up for me, like, dropped off of the face of the earth, wasn't returning any of my outreaches and everything. And so I'm like, how am I going to fix this? And so I kept going online, and then I started looking at, you know, that, I think it's Fiverr or something like that, or it's consultants that you can hire for quick problems. Turns out I get this guy, and we start, going through this problem. And it was a small little change that he's like, try this. And so I did the change, and then I set myself up in another email, and I signed myself up for my own program. And a day later, the email came through, and then the next day it came through, and then the next day. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. How much do I owe you? And he's like, nothing. And I was, floored. This was at the time when my husband was like, don't spend any money. He wanted me to start a ministry without any monetary output, So he's like, and when I told him that the guy did it for me for free, of course he was like floored. But this is how God works. And when you start paying attention and sometimes he may wait till the 11th hour, though, I'm going to tell you, he did that with me a few times, but I think that's him just saying, trust me, even up until the end, when you don't think I'm going to show up, I'll be there. Because that's kind of how I felt with this whole thing. Okay. I'm just going to come back and check on you. All right. Cherie. Now, Cherie says, you'll be fine with QuickBooks, especially since your tax person knows how to use it. I'll help if you need me. Thank you so much. If you're scared of QuickBooks, ask your tax person if she uses Sage 50 or use whatever she uses. I think she uses QuickBooks. I think that's why she wants to set it up. Once you're set up, you'll be okay. All right, you guys, do you know me? I mean, come on. Do you have any idea who I am? Oh, hilarious. I love your confidence in me, though. Oh, my gosh. Okay, so you have to guard your peace. You have to trust God in your trials. Saint Teresa of Lisieux, who is my confirmation saint, the world is thy ship, not thy home. Remember, this life is temporary. Our destination is eternal. We're just passing through. Our home is not here. So the more that we can remember, this too shall pass, which I don't know if that's actually in the Bible, but it's a great saying. Everything is temporary. Okay, St. Francis de Sales, do not lose. You're such a good girl. Can you drop? Come here. Oh, you're being such a good girl. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Did you eat your food? Did you eat your food? I love you. You're a good girl. Okay. Do not lose your inner peace for anything whatsoever, even if your world seems upset. Inner peace is the soil where God plants clarity and grace. It's like, the deepest part of you needs to go to God and needs to trust that you're going to get through this. You're going to get through this with grace. You're going to get through this, dare I say, with joy, suffer with joy. I'm telling you, I lived it. People could see it. I could feel it. I just knew, Lord, I had to look at all the blessings. I can't focus on the fact that, oh, my husband is gone. My whole life just blew up in front of my face, blah, 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 blah. What am I going to do? Woe is me. I mean, it was more like he died an instant death. He didn't have a long, drawn-out illness. He also had all of the beautiful, the apostolic pardon and the last rites prayed over him. Did you know? I say this all the time because and you guys, if you've heard this, tell other people. If someone dies after 3 hours of them being dead, they don't know when the soul leaves the body. So the priests can come and pray the apostolic pardon. Please get the apostolic pardon prayed. That's their ticket to heaven and their last rite. So my priest came, it was maybe an hour after my husband passed away. And then later that night, I had a big sign. My mom had a sign. A friend of mine had a sign, like the cardinal thing. And then I'm like, did I do my job? Oh, hang on. If I moved down here with him and we lived another 20 years together, who knows if I would be in ministry anymore. When he died, Relevant Radio and millions of people had him pray on Drew Mariani's show. They had prayers for him and for me. And at the Father Rocky 7 o'clock live rosary, millions of people were praying for me and praying for him. You were all, I felt the prayers, and I knew past, present, and future, all of these prayers are coming together for his benefit. So if it was 20 years later and we retired down here, he wouldn't have all those millions of prayers. So we have to just search for the blessings that we may not be able to see right at that moment. But keep searching. Lord, show me the good in this. Show me the good in this. Because Romans 8:28, which I don't have memorized, but it is, the Lord brings good to those who serve him. That is my horrible paraphrase of that verse. Okay. St. Teresa of Avila. Okay, that's one I already read. Okay, St. Augustine. You have made us for yourself, O Lord, and our hearts, I cannot read. You have made us for yourself, O Lord, and our heart is restless until it rests in you. Restlessness fades when we rest in God's will. Lord, you took my husband. It was your will. I don't know why. When I look back now, I do. I see the blessings in all of it. But my restlessness went away because how I argue with God. What's the point? I'm so grateful that I didn't get mad at him. I didn't yell at him. I didn't, why? It was just like this ultimate acceptance. Okay. This is what you wanted to do. It sucks for me. Sorry, I use the suck word. People don't like that, but it blew. It sucked and blew at the same time, and that's physically impossible to do. It was bad. Okay. Now these, I'm not having my peace rocked. I'm just crying because sometimes I look back and I'm like, oh my gosh. That was a lot. I miss him for sure. There's no doubt in that. But I'm pretty excited for what God has me doing right now. Whether anybody else in my family supports it or not, some of them might think I'm a little crazy. But ultimately, I am super excited for the way that God wants me to serve him. Because he ain't coming back. You know what I mean? I can't sit there and wallow in that. I hate to say this, but it is what it is. And God's asking me to do something else, and I'm going to do it with joy because what else can I do? I love you too. Oh. Okay. All right, moving on. Oh, thanks, Karen. Oh, let me go back. I know you miss him too. So Karen is a person that my husband knows Karen more than he knew me longer. He went out to hunt in Nebraska, and that's where he went every single year for, I don't know, forever. I don't know how long it was, Karen, but a long time. So he knew her way longer than he knew me. Okay. St. John Paul II. Do not be afraid. Open wide the doors to Christ. Peace grows when we let Christ fully into every part of our life. The worst part, even when you're sinning, maybe that's the thing that you're in the middle of right now, that you can't stop drinking or you can't stop smoking, whether it be pot or cigarettes. You can't stop watching porn. You can't stop looking at people lustfully. You can't stop arguing. You can't stop swearing. You can't stop all of these things. You can't stop eating. You can't stop being lazy and sitting your butt on the couch and not doing anything with your body. There's a lot of things. Oh, I'm sorry, baby. You've been waiting for me to throw this. Ultimately, bring Jesus into all of it, into your worst your worst and just say, I can't do it myself. Like, you need to do this. It's like this total surrender. I surrender. I remember when Jesus healed me from smoking pot and drinking, I was like, I didn't want this. I mean, like, I didn't want it. I was shocked. And I was like, that wasn't my plan. My plan was to do it on occasion. You know, whenever anybody else was over, I would drink, or when anyone who was smoking was over, I might smoke. My deal with myself during that Lent was, I'm not going to do it by myself in my house, because I would have done it every day, all day. And no, he took it away. And I'm like, wait, what? God has such amazing plans. And I didn't even know how I would live my life without it. But it was the best way to glorify him. I remember going to my dad's memorial party, and I'm seeing every single family member who the last time they saw me, I was drinking. Last time they saw me, some of them I was smoking with. And I'm there, and I can't wait to tell everyone that Jesus healed me. I mean, it's such a beautiful way to glorify God, even though sometimes he does things in your life that you don't necessarily want. And now I'm so grateful that he did that, because, well, I will tell you, there was a point where I was like, are you serious? You really want me to mourn my husband sober? Like, this was 3 weeks after he passed away, 27th, and then Lent started on the 14th of February, Valentine's Day. I remember that. And then it was that following Sunday. So it was like 3 to 4 weeks. I hadn't even had an opportunity to just get through it, you know? And my deal, so I stopped everything during Lent. That was my Lenten sacrifice. And then he just took it all away, which was amazing. Sometimes he does things that we don't exactly understand or want, even if it's a good thing sometimes. But I'm so grateful that he did. Come on, here. Good girl, baby. Can you drop? Did you drop? Okay, St. Catherine of Siena, be who God meant you to be, and you will set the world on fire. On fire. When we live from God's truth, we live in peace, no matter what the world says. I mean, I know that I have a lot of people that I used to party with and drink with, you know, who might have been like, gosh, I don't know if I want to hang out with her not drinking. But that's who God created me to be now. And I'm going to do it and not care about what the world says, what people say, because be who God meant you to be, and you will set the world on fire. Okay, when we live from God's truth, we live in peace, no matter what the world says. Saint Ignatius of Loyola, who is devout to the Sacred Heart of Jesus, will never be lost. Devotion keeps you grounded in love when storms come. Okay. Let's do a few more. Hang on, I'm going to come back. 40 years. So yeah, you knew him way longer. You knew him twice as long as I did. Amazing. Hello, friends of Kendra. Please hit the like button. Oh, thank you, Patrick. You're so great. How is the dinner? Are you guys eating and listening at the same time? I hope I'm not ruining your... Okay, honey, I can't play with that right now. Go get your ball. Go get your ball. All right. Catholic teachings on peace, trust, and perspective. All right. Pope Benedict the 16th. The world offers you comfort, but you were not made for comfort. You were made for greatness. Don't settle for ease. God is forming saints, not spectators. Let me do this again. The world offers you comfort. A lot of us are comfortable in our sins, in our laziness, in the things that we can't control because we're used to being slaves. We're used to being slaves. We're not made for comfort. We got to do the hard things. When we do the hard things, then we're different from the world. So people can look at us and be like, wow, I can't believe you're at a party without drinking. Or wow, I can't believe that you don't eat like a pig anymore. I mean, wow, look at your shape and your control, and you're working out, and oh my gosh, this has never been you. I mean, my goodness, that's something that I've battled my entire life. My weight, my hatred of exercise, my lack of self-control around food. I had the same thing with wine and marijuana and, porn and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so don't settle for the easy way. He's forming you into a saint. Don't be a spectator in your life. Don't make up all these excuses. Do the hard things. Call on God when you don't think you can get through something, when you don't think you can deal with a death, with a job issue, with finance problems, with a situation in a relationship. If you call on God, you'll be able to get through anything. Okay, really? Sierra, I can't play with you here. This is what we're going to do, like we did with the other toy. Hold on. You can play ball. You can't play this. Go get your ball. Good girl. Go get your ball, baby. Go get your ball. Go get your ball. Let's go. Good girl. Oh, you're ready to lay down? Here. You're a good girl. All right. Good girl, baby. Okay. Pope Francis. Do not let yourselves be robbed of hope. I'm going to use the S word again. Some of us really suck at hope. We just don't believe that things are going to be the way that we hope that they would be. So we don't even hope about it at all. Sometimes we don't even pray about it because we just think it's such a far, far thing from who you are now. So don't let yourselves be robbed of hope. Hope is the anchor of peace, even in suffering. A Christian is never bored or sad. Rather, the one who loves Christ is full of joy and radiates joy. Joy doesn't come from the absence of problems, but the presence of Christ. Just because you're Christian doesn't mean that life is going to be, rainbows and lollipops and puppy dogs. It's not the way that it works. You're going to have problems. You might even have more problems than the people who don't believe in God. Because the evil one wants them to keep doing the way that they're doing, living the way that they're living. And they're not going to attack them, and they're not going to fight. God's always there, though, by the way. So if you're still doing those things that God doesn't want you to do, you got to turn to Jesus. You can't do it on your own. It's called grace. And when we cooperate with that grace and we ask for it, God's going to just pour it out in you. Joy doesn't come from the absence of problems, but the presence of Christ. Jacques Philippe, the author of Searching for and Maintaining Peace, who is amazing. I listened to that book and it changed me. And if you've listened to me or listened to my podcast, and I shared a bunch of things from that book. I listened to the audio book, get the real book if you're a book person and you need to hold things in your hands. Game changer book, Searching for and Maintaining Peace by Jacques, Jacques, Philippe, Philippe. Peace is the simplicity of heart, serenity of mind, tranquility of the soul, the bond of love. True peace isn't a feeling, it's the fruit of trusting God fully. To preserve peace, we must stay in the present moment. Most of our anxiety comes from the future, worrying about what's going to happen, or from the past, regretting what we did or we said. So when you're in the moment, it's so hard to do. But if you're paying attention and you're looking around at what's going on at this very moment, is the Holy Spirit speaking to you? Are you listening to what God is putting on your heart? Maybe even like putting in your mind, giving you thoughts. Oh, I should do that. Maybe I should look at that. Maybe I should not be afraid of making this change. Have that hope that this will be the time where I will finally kick that bad habit to the curb. This is where God is right now. Right now. All right, Fulton Sheen. You must remember to love people and use things rather than to love things and use people. Perspective resets when we reorder our love. Perspective resets when we reorder our love. You must remember to love people and use things rather than to love things and use people. There is no joy in the world like the joy of bringing one soul to Christ. Living for heaven keeps us grounded on earth. I'm sure you've met someone who just doesn't let anything rock their peace, who always is kind and sweet and offering to pray or to offer their time, their talent, their treasure. And those are the people that are going to bring people to Christ, because they're going to look at that person and be like, oh yeah, she is a powerful Catholic Christian or a Christian. I mean, it doesn't have to be a Catholic person. Oh, you got to bring it here. Sorry, I thought where is it? I don't see it. I'm sucking snot down my nose. Okay, St. John Paul II, and I'm doing this one again because he is gold. The future starts today, not tomorrow. Don't wait for peace. Choose it in Christ now. It is Jesus that you seek when you dream of happiness. Peace is not a place, and it is not a person. Jesus was a person, but he's no longer a person. Okay. It's not even under here. Honey, go get your ball. It's not even under there. Yeah, I'm sorry. Good girl. Get up here. Yes, a good girl. Yes, a good girl. That's a good girl. Okay, Christopher West. He's a theology of the body speaker. God doesn't want to crush your desires. He wants to fulfill them in ways that you cannot even imagine. When you trust God's plan, even unanswered prayers bring peace. Even unanswered prayers bring peace because at least you have given it to God. The word surrender just has to be in your daily prayers. Like, Lord, I give you my life. I give you all my words, my actions. I give you everything today. Guide me, lead me, help me to call on you and talk to you all day long. Help me to see you in the things throughout the day. Looking out your window, if you see a beautiful sunrise or an animal or a bird or something like that, thank God. We hear this every day at Mass. Always and everywhere to give you thanks. It's our duty. It's our salvation. It's right and just. How often do we do it? How often do you get up in the morning and are like, thank you for my life, for another day. Thank you for this roof over my head. Thank you for the money that supplies us with what we need. Thank you for my faith so that I don't have to be concerned about things, overly concerned about things. When I invite you in, I know that I can trust you and you're going to lead me in the right direction. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you started out your day with that, you would be like hop, skipping, and jumping on your way to work or wherever it is that you're going to go. You're going to shine. It's going to be a different you. Mother Angelica, I will end with her. She's the EWTN founder. Faith is 1 foot on the ground, 1 foot in the air, and a queasy feeling in the stomach. Trust is rarely comfortable, but it's always fruitful. Holiness is not for wimps, and the cross is not negotiable. Oh, hang on. Holiness, hey, okay. Sorry, guys. I really want you to hear this one. Holiness is not for wimps, and the cross is not negotiable, sweetheart. It's a requirement. So it's true. We can't have the resurrection without the crucifixion. It's crazy. Okay, hang on. I'm missing some. All right, here we go. We finished eating. Yum. Excellent. It's okay. You have feelings. I'd be more disturbed if you didn't. My husband had his heart attack almost 7 years ago and hasn't been the same. I have to give him and his health to God. Amen. Ah, and how does that work? Tell me when fear creeps into your life. How does that go? Ah, Patsy, it made me go again. John Edwards says that quote all the time. Yeah, I know that man. He's great. Like and share, folks. You're so funny. Thanks, Patsy. Searching for Peace audiobook is on Hallow. Excellent. Is it like free? Is it on the free part, or do you have to searching for and maintaining peace? Do you have to have a pay thing? I know we shouldn't always want things for free, but sometimes people can't afford it. So I was just curious. Okay. What do you think? I mean, if you just get up every day, no matter what's going on, one of the things that I heard was, thank God for the problems in your life, which is super hard to do. Thank you for the death of my husband. Thank you for my husband's heart attack. When I look at like saying thank you for the death of my husband, I say thank you because of the blessings that I see. All the blessings, right? That he died quickly. He didn't suffer. He didn't even know what hit him. That he had millions of people praying for him. That he had the last rites and the apostolic pardon by a priest within the 3 hours. I mean, am I glad? Am I thanking God for it? I mean, in a way, I'm happy that it's not 20 years from now with a long suffering cancerous death where he's miserable for years and then there's nobody to pray for him. I mean, I don't know. Am I at the point where I'm thanking God? No, but I am seeing the blessings. So I'm grateful, which is kind of like thankful, so I guess I'm thanking him, but I'm not saying it in so many words. I'm thanking him for my new purpose. I'm thanking him for the challenge, because it's challenging, I'm telling you. I mean, seriously, I could have taken the easy way out and just retired. Did my speaking ministry and that was it. Could have said no. But when you say no to God, what's going to happen on Judgment Day? How many souls could be touched in a way that's different from me going out and speaking? This beautiful land that we have on the top of a hill in the country of Tennessee, 40 acres. Am I going to keep that all to myself and just invite family and friends over? Like saying yes to God is sometimes really hard, super hard. But if you hear it over and over and over and over and over again, and you keep asking, are you sure you want me to do this? Are you sure this is what you want me to do? Are you sure? Hoping for the answer of no, because this is a big deal. It's a lot of money. It's very stressful. And that's why I have to give it to him. And I'm like, okay, you're going to make this happen. You're going to find the people that, because, there's costs. The one thing that kills me is you can only split the cost between 12 people. So it's not going to be a cheap weekend. A lot of Catholics want things super cheap. Well, I can't bring 50 people here. I can't bring 100 people here and split those costs. I just can't because I only have 12 rooms. But it's purposefully made that way. It's an intimate experience with 12 other women, with your own bedroom and your own private bathroom. And you're able to sit and get to know the other speakers that will be at this retreat, including myself. I'm not just throwing it all to all the other speakers, but, it's a lot. It's a lot. And I just constantly give it to him. I'm like, okay, especially when I feel like people don't understand what I'm doing, but I'm still doing it because I'm called to greatness, and that greatness is listening to God. Okay, going back to comments. Okay, back to the Hallow thing. I don't know if it's free. We have the paid version. Okay, so people can check that out. When my daughter had cancer, when Wade had his heart attack, and when Peter had the issue with the bone in his leg, I knew the Lord was bringing us to people where we could witness to others. Plus you guys. I mean, how much did you have to turn to God in those times, right? When I was in the hospital last year, I kept my rosary on my bedside table, and it opened so many conversations. Exactly. You know, you are a witness outside, but you're also having your own faith strengthened. You know, you couldn't have gotten through all of that if you didn't have your faith. And if other people in your family didn't have their faith, you know, that was a lot to go through. And I know how faithful you are. So it just, sometimes God brings us to him in those moments. And it's a shame when some of the people, she just totally bit me. And it's a shame when some people don't go to him because he's calling him to them at that time. If you try to deal with stuff on your own, your perspective is whacked. Why would you try to do it on your own? And this is why I'm like, get your butt back to daily mass. Get your butt back to daily mass. Why would you not go have Jesus in the Holy Eucharist every single day, adoration and mass, so that you can be truly, like gliding through this? I'm praying, I'm calling on him, but it's different when you show up at mass, when you show up in adoration. I talk to God in those oh so difficult moments. I just vomit my thoughts and feelings and ask him to walk with me. That's exactly it. I love that word, vomit. If we don't give him everything, he already knows how we feel, but until we give it to him and totally like, here's all that's going on, here's what I need. I mean, that's prayer. That is prayer. Lord, I don't want to face this day. I don't want to go to work with these people. I hate my boss. Help me deal with all these issues that are happening in my family. These are so many things I can't control. I have this relationship problem with so-and-so, and I can't control that person. Help me to find that peace. Help me to surrender to you. Help me to get through this day with love and joy. And then end your prayer time with thanksgiving. Thank you for this house. Thank you for my car. Thank you for this little puppy who, seriously, I can't even tell you how grateful I am for this little dog. I mean, man, I used to sit around this house and talk to myself. Very lonely. She is a handful, but it's a handful that I'm ready for and that I love. Okay. All right. What else? It starts with talking to God, building that. That's what the relationship is. If you aren't talking to God like he's your best friend, then you don't have that relationship with him. If you're just praying rosaries and Our Fathers and Hail Marys and not sitting down and being like, I give you my kids because they're a mess and they don't believe in you and they're not going to mass and blah, 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 blah. You know, they're not making the right decisions. I mean, it's hard when your kids are not on the same path. So you give them to him and you offer your rosary and all these things. By the way, I'm doing the 54-day rosary novena for the distracted person. I know some of you are, I know Karen is, but even if you're not doing the whole 54 days, go out to my YouTube channel. I have timestamps for the joyful, the sorrowful, the luminous, and the glorious mysteries. Just pray one of them. Maybe it will help you focus more because it changes it up a little bit. Can't tell you why. You're just going to have to listen to it. and it kind of helps you focus, but it's quick too. I mean, I don't draw it out. It's not long. You know, it's a 15-minute rosary, basically, I think. 15, 16, 17, something like that. I didn't time each one. Okay, so on that note, keep it in perspective. And the only way to do that is with God. The only way to get through all of the things in your life, to pray for those people that you want back in God's good graces. If it's someone that you can't forgive, or it's a relationship issue that you have, oh yeah, I will wrap up with pictures of the kids this weekend. Nice, thanks, Karen. And you came late, I think. I mentioned that at the beginning. So maybe you weren't late and you just didn't comment. I'm not sure. Where was I? Oh, if it's someone, you know what you do? You pray for them. You know, you like pray big for them. You ask God to keep them in a higher level than you in heaven. You ask God to do amazing things in their life so that they're always joyful. You know, like you put yourself down here and you pray for that person up here. It's going to change your heart. You're going to love them no matter what they did, no matter the betrayal, the lies, the hurt, the abuse, whatever it is. It's going to change you. And that's the one you have to change, not them. Never them. It's always us. Yikes. Okay, let me try and see. Dude. Let me see if I can. Ow. Ow. Come on. I got it. I don't know. Why am I not able to open this? Okay, here we go. Let's see. Okay. Hmm. Oh,
It is so good to be here with the boys figuring out how to smoke a brisket.
oh, come on, work with me here. All right, hang on. Okay, I hope this will be. All right, let's figure this out here. All right, present. Hi, Laura. Sierra Fetch. I love it. She's being pretty good today. She is. Hmm. Shoot. Well, I would have thought this would. Huh. If this doesn't work, I can. Let's see if I could do the Google Drive. Maybe that'll show up. Hello. I don't know what that is. Let me just see if I have pictures. The video may not work. All right, let me see. If this doesn't work, I'll just show them to you I'll try to show them to you on my phone. I'm so bummed. All right. I'm going to try to do it. Oh, Patrick, you're so cute. Come on, friends. Please hit the like button. It helps Kendra's channel. It does. And I never ask for it. I never ask people to subscribe. I need to be one of those people that just says, come on. Help me out. Help out a sister. All right, I'm going to try and show you through my phone. Okay, baby, hold on. Come on.
It is so good to be here. The boys are figuring out how to smoke a brisket. Sierra's going crazy.
Sierra, come on. Oh, okay, let me replay that. Okay. Sierra? Let me get that ball. If I get it, all right, I got it. All right. Whew. Okay.
It is so good to be here. The boys are figuring out how to smoke a brisket. Sierra's going crazy. And let's not forget little Frankie.
Okay, now I can figure that one out. That didn't do so good.
Nice.
So Jake, he's playing golf. Whoops, gosh, everything's backwards. Shoot. So this is like a 5-second video. It's Jake hitting a golf ball into Frankie. I know, Frankie's 10 years old now. He's so different. For all of you people.
Nice.
Anyway, that was a bad one. Let me show you pictures. Might be easier just to. Okay. There's me. So Amy is closest. Jake, gosh, you can't even see Trevor. Jake is the crazy one who never got rid of his COVID hair or his mustache. And then that's Trevor with his wife, Annie. And then there's me in a bathing suit that you don't need to see. Okay. That one didn't come in. So this is the girls. They bought, a sandwich floaty, and they're eating it. That was kind of cute. All right. That's kind of the one that's like the video. Oops. So he's playing golf, and over here is a little floating green. So they love that. I think that's it on that one. And then, hold on, baby. All right, that's us again. Gosh. That's just me, Trevor, Jake, because Annie's taking the picture. Here's Trevor and Frankie. Frankie. Look at his little gray face. 10 years old, my gosh. So Trevor is cutting up the brisket there. We had smoked brisket. And then the first night we made pizza. So he took over because I couldn't figure out how to make the dough flat. Here is Sierra by the pool, who now jumps in. And you see that big floaty to the left of her or to the right of her, depending on which way you're looking at this. She just jumps on those now, which is kind of crazy. It's kind of cool, actually, because it took us forever to get her in there. Okay, that's kind of all that I've got. Oh, there you go, Laura. I just answered that. Looks like a great family gathering. It really was. Does Sierra swim in the pool? She does, but she hasn't gotten to the point where she just dives in. Like, I can't wait till I could just throw a ball in there and she just goes whoosh, running in there and swims back. But she did pretty good. I mean, it's only 4 foot across, so there's no like deep end. It's the same, level all the way across. And it was so, I can't even tell you how fun it was to have them we stayed out there all day long. Poor Annie got fried. Her legs were like a pink that I've never seen before. I mean, in some cases, this was like the first kind of outdoor all day in the sun kind of thing that either one of them have really had, because again, they're in Chicago. It is June 23rd. It's starting to get a heat wave up there, but they haven't really been out and about in the sun. It's been, cool weather for months here. So it's just really cool to finally have them be here. I mean, we took a tour. We walked through the retreat homes, which I'll just show you. I don't know if you can see them. So that's them back there, not too far away. And we just, got up and walked through each one. And I couldn't get into the chapel, but the chapel looks so good. I'm so glad that I extended it because, I just don't want it to be too small. I don't want you have 12 people here, but one day so I already have Sonia Corbett. She's going to rent this place out for 2 weekends. And maybe there's, a Catholic family that wants to rent it out for a wedding. And I don't want it to be too small where it's only 12 people and, you can only fit 2 people in a pew. And so I couldn't widen it. I had to lengthen it. So I think, we can fit a good amount of people in there and people don't have to be sitting on top of each other. So anyway, yeah. Yes, throw the ball in. She can't resist. Yeah, she just sits on the edge and barks at it. Gets down in it. Okay, you have crushed that ball, girl. I can't even get it out of your mouth because you crushed it. It was just, I can't even tell you. It was so cool. I had my brother-in-law and his wife and 2 kids come here on their way to go see Karen. I don't know if Karen Denier is still listening. They were on their way to Nebraska, and I'm 5 hours away from where they're at in Georgia. And so they came here and nothing. I mean, I had no grass. I mean, I barely had furniture. Actually, I didn't have furniture. I had the outdoor patio furniture that was inside, and they just stopped by for a couple of hours and then, continued on in their trip. So I really haven't had anybody over here except for my brother, which was awesome. He spent 2 or 3 days here before he went to go see my mom in Florida. So it's just really nice to have people here. I never realized how much I look forward to entertaining. I used to have people over at my house all the time up in Chicago. I was the one that had, I had Christmas and I also had Easter, but it was I had my husband to help and it was a lot, it was a lot. I had a little bit of anxiety, or maybe not anxiety, just it was a lot. It wasn't stressful. It was just, I don't know how else to say it. It was just a lot. And now, it's a lot, but it's so easy. It's so, I don't know. I think I prayed just to have more hospitality and this beautiful desire to entertain. I'm going to have to do that with the retreat homes, so it's just been wonderful. With that brunch that I had when I had the women over here, and I made, this awesome French toast casserole and these beautiful egg recipes. Some of you asked me for the recipes and I put them in comments. Have you made them? I'm just curious. So good. That French toast casserole was to die for. I had a little bit left. I chowed it down. It was so amazing. So amazing. Weddings are a great alternative use. Yes, for sure. Any kind of group, like a Catholic group or whatever can come here. It's got to be Catholic, I think, At the end of the day, the whole chapel is going to be Catholic. That's the thing that I'm kind of not freaking out about, but I'm concerned about, because after meeting with the diocese, because I am going to get it approved. The bishop is going to approve it if I go through all these checklists, so to speak, and I will be able to have Jesus in that chapel 24/7, which will be amazing. Stuff isn't cheap to decorate a chapel. Monstrances in and of themselves could be multiple thousands of dollars. And that's just one thing, so it's going to be interesting to go through and figure out how I'm going to decorate that place. But I'm hoping that I can get the diocese to support me, because there's some places that you can go, but they only have, they can only sell it to other Catholic churches or parishes or organizations. So I'm trying to make sure that, I can get approved to buy from them because maybe it's cheaper than what I'm seeing out there. You have no idea, Cherie. I mean, I can't even tell you. Like, this girl will be in the house while I walk over there and spend time with Jesus in that chapel. I mean, that is like all worth this whole thing. It's totally worth it. It's like, I was nervous that I was, wondering if I had to ask them, but they told me that, yeah, you can have Jesus there. You'll have to work with your priest to make sure that you have consecrated hosts on site, and so he'll have to bring them out or you'll have to go pick them up. I'm like, oh my gosh, they just offered it to me, so of course I will do everything that I can to have Jesus over there. Okay, baby, we're done. All right. So because I keep forgetting this and it's still the month of June. Okay, hold on, baby. We are going to pray the consecration to Jesus through Mary. Ow, you got me. You bit me on that one. Consecration. Okay, here it is. To the Sacred Heart of Jesus. My bad. Okay. Sierra, this is serious now. We're going to pray to Jesus, okay? It's Jesus now. It's Jesus. It's Jesus. Okay. Stay. All righty, everyone. Here we go. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. O Sacred Heart of Jesus, to you I consecrate and entrust my person, my life, my family, my undertakings, my pains, my hopes, my sufferings, my joys, my friendships, my desires, my plans, my thoughts, my actions, and all that I am and all that I have. May my entire being be consecrated to you. Look upon me as your own and do with me what you will. I desire to serve you, to love you, and to glorify you. I resolve to avoid anything that could displease you. I choose you today, O Sacred Heart, as the sole object of my love, the protector of my life, the pledge of my salvation, the remedy for my weakness and inconstancy, the atonement for my sins, and the sure refuge at the hour of my death. Be then, O Heart of goodness, my justification before God the Father, and turn away from me the strokes of his just wrath. O Heart of love, I put all my trust in you, for I fear everything from my own weakness, but I hope everything from your goodness. Consume in me all that can displease you or resist you. May your pure love be so deeply imprinted in my heart that I may never forget you or be separated from you. I implore you through your infinite goodness that my name be written in you, for I desire to live and die in your service and in your love. Sacred Heart of Jesus, I trust in you. Sacred Heart of Jesus, have mercy on us. Sacred Heart of Jesus, your kingdom come. Amen. Oh, sorry, everyone. Wow. That's when prayers... I'm sorry. I don't know if you could have heard me. Nothing cooler than praying and having tears streaming down your face. Nothing cooler than when you feel a prayer like that. I'm sorry if you didn't hear me. Okay. Perspective. Everything can be kept in the right perspective when we bring Jesus into it. When we surrender ourselves to him, when we give him everything, like we just prayed, all of it. And then we cry. And then we thank him. And we're so different. Because we're not of this world. We live for eternity. And we trust that he's got us covered in everything. We could hear. Good. Thank you. All right, everyone. I love you all so much. Find something more with God, soul, mind, and body. Man, I'm so blessed to be walking with you. I love spending this time with you every Monday. Thank you, Patrick, for asking everyone to like, share, and subscribe. I don't know if subscribe was in there. I think most of you all are subscribed. Oh, thank you. Love you, Kendra. So glad we are all on this journey together. Thank you for all you are doing. Jesus, I surrender everything to you. Take care of everything. I love it. It's so true. Thank you, Laura. I love you too. Right back at you, Karen. We are on this journey together. And it's so awesome. I'm so grateful. So blessed. All right. I got to let that little whiner out. I think it's poop time. And it's time for me to pray to Father F.R. James Parker, if any of you want to listen to him. He's amazing. All right. I'll see you next time. I got to do more just regular videos. I know I do a lot for my, hey, all you members, I did my Monday motivation on Monday. Woo-hoo! That was a big achievement. All right. Anyway. Okay. I'll catch you next time. Have a beautiful night. Give it all to Jesus. He's just waiting for you.